Interpreting literature is a multifaceted process that involves analyzing texts beyond their surface meaning. It requires close reading, attention to detail, and an understanding of broader themes, historical context, and authorial intent. While every literary work can be interpreted in various ways, certain key points guide the interpretation process to ensure a deeper and more insightful reading experience. Whether you're interpreting a poem, novel, or play, keeping these essential factors in mind will help you unlock a richer understanding of the text. Number 1. Understand the historical and cultural context. Literature often reflects the time and place in which it was written. Understanding the historical, social, and cultural background of a literary work is essential for interpretation. Ask yourself, what were the political, social, or economic conditions at the time? How might these circumstances influence the author's themes or characters? Knowing the context can reveal layers of meaning that may not be apparent in a surface reading. For example, interpreting The Great Gatsby requires an understanding of 1920s America, the Jazz Age, and the excesses of wealth and materialism in that era. The novel's critique of the American dream is deeply tied to its historical context. Number 2. Analyze the themes. Themes are the underlying ideas or messages in a literary work. Identifying and interpreting themes is crucial because they offer insight into the author's purpose and the text's larger meaning. Common literary themes include love, power, identity, loss, and morality. Once you've identified a theme, consider how it manifests in the plot, characters, and imagery. Does the author convey the theme subtly through symbolism, or is it directly addressed? For instance, in To Kill a Mockingbird, themes of racial injustice, childhood innocence, and moral growth are central to interpreting the novel's portrayal of societal inequality. Number 3. Examine the characters and their development. Characters often serve as vehicles for an author's message, so their motivations, growth, and relationships should be closely examined. Pay attention to how characters change over the course of the story, and what those changes reveal about the text's broader themes. Are the characters symbolic or allegorical? What do their conflicts and interactions suggest about human nature or society? For example, in Hamlet, the protagonist's internal conflict and indecision are central to interpreting the play's exploration of revenge, mortality, and madness. Number 4. Consider the author's use of literary devices. Literary devices such as symbolism, imagery, metaphor, irony, and foreshadowing play a crucial role in shaping a text's meaning. These tools allow the author to convey complex ideas in subtle ways. When interpreting literature, look for patterns in how these devices are used. For example, recurring symbols might highlight a key theme, or a particular metaphor could add depth to a character's emotional state. In The Scarlet Letter, for instance, Hawthorne's use of symbolism, particularly the scarlet letter A, enriches the novel's exploration of sin, guilt, and redemption. Number 5. Pay attention to the structure and form. The structure of a literary work, its narrative flow, point of view, and organization, can also offer insight into its meaning. How does the story unfold? Is it told chronologically, or does it use flashbacks and other narrative techniques? Does the form of the work, whether it's a poem, novel, or play, influence the way its themes are presented? Considering the structure allows for a more nuanced interpretation. For example, the nonlinear structure of Beloved by Toni Morrison reflects the fragmented memories of the characters, underscoring the novel's themes of trauma and memory. Number 6. Explore multiple interpretations. Literature often lends itself to multiple interpretations. A single text can evoke different responses depending on the reader's perspective, experiences, and worldview. When interpreting a literary work, it's important to remain open to different possibilities. Sometimes the ambiguity in a text is intentional, allowing readers to draw their own conclusions. Exploring various interpretations can also enhance your understanding of the work's complexity. For example, many scholars debate whether Heart of Darkness is a critique of colonialism or a reinforcement of racist ideologies. Both interpretations offer valuable insights into Conrad's work. Number 7. Consider the author's intent, but don't rely solely on it. While understanding the author's intent can help illuminate a text's meaning, It's important not to become overly reliant on authorial intention. Sometimes a work's meaning extends beyond what the author consciously intended. A purely biographical reading might limit the richness of a literary work's themes and ideas. It's more valuable to focus on what the text itself communicates rather than attempting to decode the author's personal life or motivations. For example, while F. Scott Fitzgerald might have drawn from his personal experiences in writing The Great Gatsby, the novel's themes resonate beyond his biography, addressing broader societal issues. Number 8. Contextualize the work in the literary canon. Interpreting literature also involves understanding how a particular work fits within the broader literary tradition. Is it a response to a previous literary movement, or does it break away from established norms? Does it borrow from certain genres, or does it redefine them? Placing a text in its literary context can provide insight into how it interacts with other works and movements. For instance, Frankenstein is often seen as a precursor to both the science fiction and horror genres, and its themes of creation, ethics, and hubris can be better understood when contextualized within the Romantic movement. Number 9. Focus on language and diction. The language and word choice or diction of a literary work are fundamental to its interpretation. How the author uses language can reveal important details about tone, mood, and character voice. Is the language formal or colloquial? Are there any unusual word choices that stand out? The specific language used in the text often serves as a clue to deeper meanings. In The Catcher in the Rye, J.D. Salinger's use of informal, slang-filled language helps readers connect with Holden Caulfield's adolescent voice and mental state, making his emotional turmoil more palpable. Number 10. Reflect on personal response. While literary interpretation involves analysis and academic insight, your personal response to a text is also important. How did the work make you feel? What questions did it raise for you? Sometimes your emotional or intellectual reactions to a story can lead to meaningful interpretations that resonate on a personal level. For instance, reading Pride and Prejudice might evoke different responses depending on a reader's views on class, marriage, or gender roles, leading to a personalized interpretation of Austen's portrayal of society. Interpreting literature is a dynamic process that requires critical thinking, curiosity, and an open mind. By understanding the historical context, identifying themes, analyzing characters, and recognizing literary devices, readers can engage with texts on a deeper level. Interpretation is not about finding one correct meaning, but rather about exploring the many layers of significance that literature has to offer. Through careful analysis and personal reflection, literature can become a powerful tool for understanding both the world and ourselves.